What's up, everybody? On today's episode of the hashtag Blackout podcast, we give a little bit of a CES recap, talk about some fundamental truths when it comes to going to Las Vegas, finally catch up on some voicemails, and talk about a couple of announcements that happened over the past couple of weeks. All this and more on today's episode of the hashtag Blackout podcast. Pew, 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 pew. My voice is hurting.
Uh-oh.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 114 of the hashtag Blackout podcast. Let's see, that's 114, I think. I don't know. I'm Jared.
I'm Jay.
And man, we back and at it again 2 times in a week and a half. Or
2
a week.
times.
So hey,
2 times.
we're back and consistent. How's it going, man? How was your week, Jay?
It was going. It was just another week. Kids went back to school. Wife went back to work. I sat at work doing nothing. Well, actually, I did something, but I didn't want to do it. But yeah, that was it. That was pretty much it. That was the highlights of my week. Surprise.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, it wasn't much of anything. Just the same old on my end. Trying to reconfigure my office space. So I have like junk everywhere. I got stuff and boxes upon boxes and supplies. IKEA got a lot of money from me yesterday. So yeah, you know how that is.
Man, I know how that is.
What?
But that's good.
But that's about it. That's about it, man. How was your very fun week? Fun and interactive week.
Well, first of all, I know you said you got boxes and boxes. I saw that you released that unboxing video yesterday on YouTube, so it was really good with the janky toys. So why don't you go ahead and tell the people what your channel is called and what that latest unboxing was. I thought that was pretty good.
All right, well, the channel, you could just type in, "Hey, it's Jay." That's me. Hey, it's Jay. Just keep it sweet and simple. So yeah, the unboxing. So I don't know how many people out there are familiar with like the art toy, designer toy universe, or if you want to call it a designer toy scene, urban vinyl scene. It's not Pops or Funko related. It's a little beyond that, but shout out to the people who collect Pops. But there was a company long ago, late 90s, early 2000s called Kid Robot that's still running strong today. So the founder of that company actually left some years ago, and he's back on the scene with a new art toy, and he's collaborated with another artist, one of my favorite artists. So they've come together, formed this company called Super Plastic, and they put up a Kickstarter campaign. Yeah, Super Plastic. They put up a Kickstarter campaign like earlier last year, only asking for $25,000. That was it. But the fans and the followers of the scene know these people, know their work ethic and what they produce. They ended up with over $500,000, so $500,000 they ended up with. So yeah, everything is completely like blown out of water. You know, their target was blown out of water, and you know, they produced a very quality toy, very quality figure, and I ended up, you know, backing one of their tiers and got a bunch of stuff. Their blind boxes, and for the people out there who don't know what blind boxes is, it's just a box. No one knows what you're getting, and there's a bag in there with the actual toy inside. So there's no telling what you're going to get when you pick up a box if you buy it somewhere. But I managed to get a case, and not all the time you're going to get every single thing in that case or every single toy in that particular series, but I managed to get every single toy in that particular series, even a few of the rare ones. There's like two that I'm missing, but I've got some of those rare ones, and you could look online, like on eBay, and a couple of the ones that I got are actually going for upwards to $200 when they're only like a $10. $10 buy one buy. Yeah, $10 purchase if you purchase like a single one. Then some of them going for like $200. I picked up one extra one. There's like additions to that Kickstarter campaign that you could pick up. I picked up one that was $80. I checked on eBay a couple of days ago. That sucker's going for almost $400. So yeah, it's a good purchase if you're if you like that particular scene. Definitely these are quality toys.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's pretty much
When was their Kickstarter again? When was that?
I think it started in March of last year, and it ended, I think, around May, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But then they kept on adding. They kept on creating new products and adding it on. It's like, hey, we got this limited edition, this, and this, added for so many dollars to your Kickstarter.
That's cool.
Your Kickstarter purchase. So,
yeah.
It was good,
pretty
man.
Dope.
I'm glad I got everything. So
very cool, very cool. And it's funny you said it's high quality, high quality toys. But the actual definition of janky is of extremely poor or unreliable quality. So that's pretty great.
Yeah.
Nice
exactly.
Nice little play on words they have there. So that's pretty dope, man. That's cool. Well, yeah, man. It's a good video. So if you guys want to check it out, definitely go and find Hey It's Jay on YouTube, and like it, share it, all that fun stuff. Subscribe to his channel because he has tons of other unboxings on there. Comment for sure. And then man, go get yourself some janky toys too. I know they were just $10 now. Shoot, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get a couple of those because they're pretty cool.
Yeah, if you can find, a lot of places have already sold out of practically everything.
I'm gonna have to get the next restock then. Because I ain't paying more than $10.
I don't know if there's going to be another restock, but Series 2 is coming soon. So you could jump on that one.
All right, good call. Anyway, so that's cool. And let's see here. So my week. Speaking of Kickstarters and Indiegogos and campaigns like that, I was in Las Vegas. I went to CES, and thankfully, the job that I work at, my day job, actually brought me there for free. So it was nice. I was there the whole week. Man, I saw and did and played with a lot of different random things. And there's quite a few companies there that start out as Kickstarters or Indiegogos, when they have these, concept vehicles or robots or devices that they're trying to launch. Lots of drones were in that same vein, and video game stuff was in that same vein. So they start out like that. They try to get backed. They try to come up with the finished product to bring and show off at the store. At a show like CES, which is Consumer Electronic Show or Showcase, something like that. It's the largest consumer electronic, show in the world. There were, over 180,000 people there. There were, I can't remember. They said like 40,000 exhibitors. So exhibitor is somebody who comes there with a booth of product or services and shows it off. And there's booths that were as small as like 10 by 8 or something, like a tiny room, all the way up to booths that were, oh my gosh, massive. Like there were a couple that had a couple of the bigger booths, and they were like half the size of a football field or something like that. Like Samsung, Sony, TCL, LG.
Was that Bell Helicopter?
Bell Helicopter had a large booth. Yeah,
those suckers had a large
booth. And those guys, all those people I just named and more, Kodak, Polaroid, companies like that. What was it? Razer, the gaming company. They had booths that were like, the half the size of a football field or bigger, like insane. And a lot of those booths, for some of those bigger name companies. They had, celebrity personalities there talking about the product, or, just hanging out, or, celebrity, or I guess what you would call celebrity YouTube reviewers and people of that nature, there, sort of reviewing product and hanging out, walking around and stuff like that. So it was crazy, man. When I go to a show like that, this is my second CES, and when I go to a show like this, it's always interesting to me to walk around, and I have opportunity if I'm outside of my booth at work, and just try to see and do and touch and feel everything that I can, experience as much as I can, just because, it's one of those things that, it's sort of like when we talk about Comic-Con. It's like we always want to go. I mean, like the San Diego Comic-Con. Like, we always want to go, but it's it's either expensive, or it's out of town, or, there's all this stuff that we, all these reasons why it's, a lot more difficult to go if you, don't have a chance to go for whatever reason. So yeah, man, I try to experience as much as possible, and I try to actually, I think I did a good job this year as compared to last year, in actually trying to either video document, some with a little bit of explanation, some with no explanation, just the whole event. So if you go to our Instagram, #BlackoutPod, and you look into our Instagram, our story highlights on our profile, there's one that's labeled CES 2019. And oh man, I can't remember how many videos. There's probably about 100, shorts on there.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Starting with day one, and going all the way through. And yeah, man, it's insane, the amount of things, the amount of robots, the amount of cars, people, all the tech, all the holograms and stuff, and the innovations they made with that. TVs, there's TVs that are like 8K all the way up to like 11K. Like, yeah. 11K? For real?
I just looked online, or I just was looking at some reviews or product reviews from there, and they showed a 65-inch curved 4K computer monitor. I'm like, yep. Jesus.
I'm gonna tell you something.
That sucker was huge.
That was maybe LG. I can't remember who had that monitor. There actually maybe LG, it may have been raised. There's quite a few companies that had some crazy looking monitors, but I remember one specifically. I believe it is LG. I can't remember exactly how long it was, but it was way longer, from horizontally than any other monitor that you've seen. But I was standing in front of it watching some guy like play a video game. And it's basically like a full-on wraparound experience. Like, you could have, if you think of your regular computer monitor, desktop monitor at work or whatever, you could have, I don't know, like 8 of those screens. If you had them, expanded, you'd have 8 of those stacked up inside this one monitor. So you'd be doing 8 different things at once. It's crazy. They had monitors similar to that. I think actually. They have monitors similar to that where, it has some kind of audio experience feedback combined with lights. So behind it, so say you're playing a video game, or you're listening to music, whatever's happening in the game or on the song, it translates through audio and also through lights on the back, and it also links up with the experience. So if it's a song, obviously you can sort of pick the colors and the feel for that specific song, and it sort of plays to the beat, if you will, and it lights and flashes to the beat. But if it's a video game, say it's like a Call of Duty or like Halo, like we were sort of talking about earlier before the show, like when you're shooting, it has like little flashbangs, flashes that happen behind it. If you get shot and you start to your shield is down or whatever, start to get red, then behind the light sort of lights up red and flashes or yellow. You know what I'm saying? If you if you're what is it? I guess if you get, I guess there's an explosion or something like that. The light flashes like an explosion in front of you. It's crazy. If you're unloading and reloading, there's actually a couple of them. Unloading and reloading. There's a whole immersive experience, which I think Razer actually has, where if you're sitting in your chair, playing this game, then the seat you could actually feel on the seat. You're unloading, reloading, shooting. That's also interactive in the headset, also interactive with the controller, and also interactive with the, the screen as well. So it's like a full-on immersive experience. They're getting so deep with these games, man. It's wild. There's one actually that really is cool, which I got to play, called the Rudder, which essentially, if you could imagine, it's just like a disc that you put your feet on, that's on the floor, and you like sit down in a chair, you put your feet on this, and it almost looks like, you remember the pogo ball back in the day?
Yeah.
It's sort of like a pogo ball, except for without the top ball, right? But two places for your feet, but it's a lot lower profile than that would be as well, like way lower than that. So that's like that could be your full control, or that could just be partial control. And it links up. It's already out. Actually, it's in production. It will be released in March. The Rudder, and this links up with current Xboxes, PlayStation, computer gaming, and I believe the Nintendo Switch. And there's sort of like a main controller that could be sort of more handheld, that attaches to it, but then there's the straight rudder. So I was playing Forza Horizon 4 or whatever, the latest Forza racing game on Xbox, and yeah, basically you use this to drive with. So you just move your feet. I don't even use my hand. So forward, reverse, left, right, steering, like all that stuff, shifting, all goes through this foot support, this disc-like foot support. And yeah, it's super responsive. So like if you barely, push forward, it's going to start going. But if you tip forward a little bit harder, it's going to go fast forward. You know what I'm saying? So it's really interesting. And my experience with that one wasn't the same as if I had that mixed in with VR, because in VR gaming, it's always sort of silly because you have to have that joystick to walk around with, on certain consoles. So with this, you have the rudder system, which sort of answers that need, if you will. Like you can move your feet to walk, or to move with the VR situation, and then you just move your head, to look around and shoot and all that stuff. And one of my coworkers actually did the headset with the PSVR, and she said it was amazing. So with some new game coming out called The Wizard, I believe it is, for PlayStation coming out. So man, I'm telling you, that was cool new tech. We all loved Pong and Atari back in the day. Right. I think Atari came out with this Kickstarter campaign in connection to sort of like a gaming table company, and it was to make a new version of Pong. And so this is not like your regular Pong that you played on the Atari, even though it has the same like feel of it. It has the same graphic feel, if you will. These are gaming tables, and these are ones that are more that you would find like at an arcade, and these are also some that you could buy for your house. Which essentially, just imagine this, and you can check in our stories. It's probably about halfway through the stories. There's like 100 stories, on there, so you have to click pretty quick. So I played with one of my friends, and I smoked her. Boom. But okay, so imagine Pong, everything that you would get. Imagine it being like that old school gaming table, like Pac-Man and Galaga look. You know what I'm saying, like we had back in the day. But you have a little wheel in the middle that you turn left and right. That allows your slider to go left and right, your paddle to go left and right. Each person has that. Then inside, on the screen itself, it's just a black backdrop, and there's, multicolored lights, rainbow, all colors of the rainbow, white to black or whatever lights all around the edge, you know, sort of lighten up the screen. And then imagine, let's see here. How do I want to say this? Imagine like an oversized Lego, like a Lego that's like 1 by 1 on you know, thickness, but like 3 inches wide. So each of your and white, right? So each of your paddles is that, and it's like a tangible piece. It's not on the screen. It's not a digitized thing. It's actually like a tangible piece that's like hovering over the screen. Okay, it's like on the table. It's like an actual thing that is getting hit, like an actual paddle. I mean, I don't know how to say it. And then just say like the pong ball is like a marshmallow, like your oversized jet puff marshmallow. So that's what you're actually hitting back and forth. So you're using your slider, and as you twist and turn the slider, you know, it's sort of trying to respond to you. So there's like a little bit of latency in there that you know, so there's like a really tiny delay. So, you know, if you're not quick enough in anticipating that, you could get beat pretty easily. But it's almost like that, but it's like a combination of that and air hockey. So it's trying to respond to you spinning the little disc, but it's also sort of skidding across the top of the screen like air hockey. And man, it is so funny because, you know, you play the game and it's like, you know, first to 3 wins. They probably just had it like that so people can have a quick experience. But it was cool. And so like the ones that you buy for your house like that, I think they said are like $3,000. The ones that, you know, somebody would buy and put in their restaurant or whatever, I think they said are like $4,500 because they're a little bit bigger and taller and they have a few different electronics. But man, it was pretty cool. And it's funny because there's these random guys that I met who had Atari hats on. I was like, oh, your booth is cool. I want to go check it out. And they're like, oh, we don't work for Atari. We just got these hats from their booth though. And I was like, that's dope. And he was like, yeah. One of the guys was like, yeah, they did this Kickstarter, you know, a couple years ago or a year ago, something like that. And I decided to throw in on it because I thought it was cool, and I bought one of their gaming tables. And then so when I went down there and I talked to them, I was like, hey man, I bought your gaming table. Check this out. He showed him a picture. He was like, y'all got an extra hat? Because I want a hat, please. And they're like, yeah, here's the hat. He was like, dope. So it's funny. But nah, that was really cool. You know, the gaming area was so big. Razer had a lot of great stuff for computer games. They actually have a new keyboard and mouse system that you can link up to your Xbox and PlayStation, or I guess maybe future PlayStation, but right now it's set up for Xbox, so you can basically turn your Xbox into a computer gaming system. Wow, the robots were crazy. There's this one setup where they had all these scary little Chinese robots, and they're all singing "Let It Go" in unison. Like it was like a choir of robots. That was freaky.
That's funny.
It was cool. They had robots who identified you and would like do a dance party with you. They had the same robot that was playing ping pong that I mentioned last year was back. Robotics were crazy. They had luggage, you know, suitcases that will follow you wherever you go.
It's it's getting a little too scary now.
Oh man, it's getting super scary. And then what was wild were the drones. You know, DJI, you know, still has the market sort of cornered with drones because they're like the name brand, if you will, and they had a lot of cool stuff and a lot of cool, you know, camera mounts and things like that they had that were, you know, cool innovations. But there's tons of companies coming out with all kinds of drones that can do all kinds of things, and they're drones that are as big as, almost as big as a car. You know what I'm saying? Or as wide as a car. Some of them look like real planes or helicopters. And then there were actually drones that you could fly on. Yes.
Dang.
You could actually get on.
So they really getting into like the military drone type.
Dog, this isn't, I mean, not just military, but like eventual, you know, like human
use.
Well, I'll tell you what.
But they're getting to that size to where they're the size of like military drones.
Oh yeah. So, and they had them out there. They actually turned them on. They didn't have anybody actually flying in there, but they turned them on and turned on the jets and stuff. And so there were a couple specifically that they were showing off. One of which, and these are in our stories too. One of which think this is on day 1 in our story, so maybe that'll make it easier for you to get to. One of which the Dubai Police Department actually already use. So
yeah, I remember seeing videos there.
So that thing is real, man. The sucker's real, and it looks cool. It looks like a combination of like a slingshot car and a 4-wheeler. Slingshot car and a 4-wheeler in size, and then it has, you know, the 4 drone fans around the sides. And then there was another one that they had that was right next to it, and I don't know if you just imagine like car rims, just like without the wheel on them, but instead of setting like in a rolling position but horizontal, they had like I think 6 of those. That's like the size of the fans, like some 20-inch rims or whatever, sitting all around this one central the seated area, the cockpit or whatever you call it, and it's sort of like a more heavy duty version. And man, it's crazy. These things look amazing. And the other thing is, some of these drones are actually still in service right now in places like Dubai, where they actually give you a taxi ride from rooftop to rooftop.
Nah, nope.
Rooftop to rooftop. So no. Don't go down the 15-minute elevator ride to get to the bottom, so you can go to the next building and walk across. Let me just fly you from rooftop to rooftop.
Nah, I'm good, dude.
Man.
You see how tall the buildings in Dubai is?
Yeah, with the Burj Khalifa is like cool. 2 miles high. I don't know.
I'm cool. I'm all right.
Man, yeah. So it's for real, man. It's crazy that there's so many drones and robots that they're innovating right now. On top of what I saw last year, there's some stuff I saw last year where I was like, man, they could deliver pizza to your house and nobody's in the car. Well, they have stuff like that now. They have stuff like that now that is a lot smaller than a full size car. That will be like the size of like a bed end table or side table, something like that.
Wow.
You know, for your bedroom, and it's like the snack wagon or something like that. There's another one that is a car that is a full on car, and you know how there's Uber Eats out right now and stuff like that. Well, you could do the same thing. Like, you can order your stuff off of Walmart.com or whatever. You know, your groceries. They'll this car will pull up there. They'll load it in the trunk of the car. Car goes to your house. You know, you swipe your card to identify your purchase, pay for it, and the back of the trunk pops. Right, trunk pops, and you have your groceries there. You get your groceries out, bam, it's off. And what's so crazy is, like, you imagine, and there's nobody, you know, it's a self-driving car. And what's so crazy is the fact that, you know, I was looking at it, I was like, how does this do this? Just drive everywhere. And like the imaging technology, NVIDIA does a lot of this technology, you know, as well as quite a few other companies now, where they have this camera system set up on top, and it can literally view, you know, like 100 yards or something like that around the car, or 200 feet, something like that. I can't remember what it is, around the car, and it could map every single thing that's in that 100 feet, and you know, not only is it mapping where it is, it's mapping the height, the depth, the distance, you know, how close, if it's something that it's going to hit, if it's something that's a hazard, something they could drive over, drive past, you know, and also obviously it maps, you know, stop signs and signals. Like, it's crazy. It's insane. It's insane.
That's amazing, man. Can you only imagine where they'll be CES 2025?
Man, it's shoot, dog. We better be flying by then. But you know what I'm saying? We better be in flying cars. After seeing all these drones and stuff, there's one company, Bell Helicopter, which we talked about. Real quick earlier.
Very familiar. With Bell.
They had this drone that is full on. What do you call it? It was a full on. I don't know. It looked like a helicopter. There was 4 blades around it, and the blades, you know, sort of go in whatever direction they need to go in order to propel the helicopter. And one of the videos that I did in there actually shows in the background a rendering of this helicopter flying through Dallas and shuttling people, you know, from place to place. And it is so cool, man. It looks so cool. I don't know. It sort of freaks me out to fly in it, but then again, it's like a full-on size helicopter. Yeah, so there's just some amazing stuff. I say, yeah, where will they be then? I don't know. The car technology, just new car technology, and what the new cars, the concept cars will look like. It's always funny because, some of these cars you're like, man, this thing will never come out. And then there's some of these things that are like, dang, this is out already? How? So the big thing with cars this year was putting, like, basically a full screen of some sort. Something that's, bigger than an iPad. Something that's like a 32-inch monitor or a 30-inch wide monitor, but maybe like, 12 inches tall monitor as your dashboard, or over the dash, or like in the center console, or front seat and back seat having access to that. Or there were a couple cars, I can't remember all the companies that did this, but there's a couple cars, man, that had the whole windshield, interior windshield, was a screen. So while this car drives you places, right? While it drives you places, you don't even see anything outside. The windshield and the side windows all link up to this one screen. So you could be watching a movie, doing whatever, while your car is taking you where you're going.
Right.
And you could be watching, you could be watching the GPS, trying to, make sure you're on the right path. But still, while it takes you where you're going, like, it's insane. I'm just like, what? I don't know. Like, sometimes I actually do like to see what's going on outside. It's crazy.
Yeah, of course, man. I wouldn't trust that car. I've heard so many people getting into crashes with that Tesla auto driver.
Yeah.
And especially if you got a full, like a wraparound screen. I'm not sure I trust that.
And even here, there were a couple companies that you could actually sign up to. You could actually sign up to be to ride in one of those in Las Vegas while you were there. So you sign up, and they come and pick you up at a certain place, and they just basically take you on like a 5-minute or 10-minute drive, something like that, in one of those cars, just to show you how safe the technology is. I'm telling you, it's come a long way since those crash tests, if you will, the crashes that happened in the test. But still, yeah, man, it's gotta get a little bit better. There's Audi had something cool. They call it immersive car entertainment, right? So you could be in your car, and say you go to a drive-in or something like that, which this is not a big thing anymore still, obviously. But yeah, you go to a drive-in, or say you're watching a movie in your car on the screen, and say it's like the last Avengers that came out, and so there's a lot of action, there's a lot of I guess level changes with people flying and stuff like that, and rockets and stuff, spaceships and shooting and explosion. And so while you're sitting in your car, basically your car is responding to the actions that are happening on the screen. It's like moving, dipping, and diving. So it's sort of sitting in like the D-box chairs or whatever they call those at the movie theater, but in your car.
So if there's a car crash on screen,
yeah, you feel like you're in a car crash. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. It's crazy.
That kind of sucks.
Nissan had some really cool like Nismo versions of their cars. They had an IMX, which is this new car that's coming out, or the concept car or whatever. But then they had like a Nissan Leaf that looked like a freaking race car. That was pretty dope. Acura had some great looking cars out. Wow. There's this thing called the Sea Breacher, which, I guess can come in the form of any like sea creature, but it's like a 2-person manned cockpit, like, I don't know, like water toy, if you will. And essentially, you can go down and dive underwater. I don't know how many feet, like 20 feet down, and then it would pop up and sort of like pop out of the water like a whale jumping out of the water. But it would go as fast as, faster than like a jet ski. Like it would look something like that. Saw Formula 1 electric racing cars that go like 200 miles per hour, but it's all electric. So it's like basically a silent race. Like you don't hear the cars going. It's just silent. It's nuts.
Wow. I can't wait to see that.
Man, I can't
wait to see that.
So much crazy stuff going on. And like that's really just the tip of the iceberg. Really the thing that was cool was Google. had this gumball machine outside, this huge oversized gumball machine, and you go up to it, and it's sort of paired up with the Google Assistant. What is it? The Google Home Assistant. And you walk up to it. They give you this huge like fake quarter, and then you have to ask it a question. It cycles through these questions, and you have to ask one of these random questions. It answers the question, just like it would normally do when you ask it, like an Alexa does, and all that stuff. Then out the bottom pops either a Google beanie, a fanny pack, like a shopping bag, a phone charger. What else they had? They had the Google Nest cams, they had Google Homes, and the Google Minis. And so, man, it was really cool. I've been wanting to do it since I saw it last year. I got in line for it my last day, like early, because it was always a long line. I was in line for 2 hours, dog. 2 hours. 2 hours.
Creeps.
And it was my last day there, and so I was like, dang, I want to do all this other stuff, but I'm going to have to do this. And then I really only had 30 or 45 minutes till I actually had to run to the airport. But yeah, I got all the way to the front, and I was like, hey, Google, and I guess it had like one of the questions like something about a burrito. So I was like, hey, where can I find a burrito? And it answered the question. It was like there are several teams in Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Knights, the UNLV Running Rebels. Like I was like, I ain't even asking that question. And the guy who worked for Google, who was standing right there with me, he's like, well, sir, it looks like you did not need a burrito today. I was like, dang.
That's messed up.
He was like looking at my stomach. I was like, all right, I got you. All right, cool. So then it dropped this, this huge plastic ball. It's about the size of like a basketball. And then you pull it open, and it has like your prize in it. So people are winning like 1-800-Flowers gift cards, Starbucks gift cards. Like, one person won like a Google Home with a year subscription to YouTube video or YouTube music or something. I was like, man, I hope I get that. I got a phone charger. I work for a phone charger company too, so I was like, dope. But no, it was cool anyway. I was like, it was cool just the fact that they were giving away free stuff, and it was a fun time. Had some good combos. But they told me after that, they're like, hey, if you walk across into the innovations area where they had, several other companies, they're like, go into the Google Playground booth. So I walked into the Google Playground booth. Really cool booth. A lot of interesting new innovations they have. And there's this one area where you walk through, talk to Google Grandma, which is, like some robot. And it's funny because there must be somebody I guess they must have a camera in the robot looking at people as they pass by, because she was like getting really specific. She's like, Jared, you're a cute guy. And I was like, what? It's like, yeah, you're a cute little old grandma. And she's like,
what that mouth do, grandma?
I know, right? It was so funny, man. Yeah, she was getting pretty specific. So I took a selfie with her. She was funny. But then you go in, you ride this roller coaster that they actually built in there. And at the end of it, they give you a Google Home Hub for free 90 free. So
nice.
I did that thing, got that thing on the way. I'll be able to talk about it. There was some other, there's a lot of other cool stuff. The one thing that I thought was really wild out of all this stuff that I saw, was, okay, so Kia, right? Kia, the car company, we all thought Kia was gone by the wayside. Not so fast, my friends. They're still there. I can't remember who saved them as a company, but they have this one. That is one thing that they're developing for their cars. That basically, it's called the READ system, READ, right? So, what it does, it will read the mood of the driver and adjust your driving experience to that mood with lights and sounds and music, suggestions for food, suggestions for entertainment, etc. Wow. So if you get in and you're mad, but you program it that you want to be calmed down if you're ever mad or angry or frustrated, it will try to lighten the mood and help you. Or if you want it to pair up with your mood and just keep it the same way, it will do the same. It will turn the lights more red in the interior. It'll like crazy. Suggest it'll suggest I don't know, payback movies. I don't know, all kinds of crazy stuff. It's wild, man. But yeah, as you sit in this thing, it sort of shows you, what it does. It is wild. It is wild seeing this stuff.
So if you're like drunk or something, you could pre-programmed to like take you somewhere.
Yeah,
Take you to drunk food, late night drunk food.
Exactly. So it reads your this along with a couple other things would basically like read your read your state of mind, your everything that's going on with you, and essentially what is it like? It'll read what is it like your body's temperature. It'll read like your skin, like your skin tone and the type of lotion that you're using, or something like that. And it'll actually read I guess I don't know, like just something that's going on with you. Your mood, like I said, and it'll tell. Okay, can I suggest going to Whataburger and getting some taquitos? You know what I'm saying? It's 2 a.m. Like what? Excuse me. It's wild, man. It's wild. There's so much stuff, and last year I didn't walk the whole show. I thought I was close, but I was nowhere close because this year we just stayed at the North and South Hall and the Innovations area, which is right there in the parking lot. And there was probably like 5 other locations in the city that had other stuff, and I just couldn't get to those. Some of them had more computer things, more computer related things and innovations with those. Some had more, different type of tech related stuff. Some had, there's this one huge tent that is the size of a football field, and every booth was like 8 by 10, 8 by 8, 10 by 10, and all of these companies just smashed and smushed in there, like, hundreds of companies. All they are is like Kickstarter campaigns and things like that. New innovations that they're trying to release, or innovations that that are already funded. They're just trying to get picked up. So a lot of independent people in there. I didn't even get a chance to go in there. I wanted to go in, but it was so massive, and obviously I had to work, so I didn't get to do everything. But then, other locations around the city also had some other stuff going on. So, man, if you ever have the opportunity to go and plan it in your schedule, just take a couple days and go there and just walk around. It's wild. So,
yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, man. So
I always love to.
If my company,
and I saw you was like,
what's that?
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say if my company, still loves me next year and still wants to take me back, I'm still with them. Yeah, man. And if I get a free ticket next year, you know who I'm gonna offer that to again.
Yeah, man. My apologies, dude. My kids started school that day. Yeah. So it's I will definitely want to go. I really do. Yeah, I was saying I was looking through your videos, and I was like, I know you had mentioned earlier about like some YouTubers and stuff there, and I was like, is that Marcus Brownlee from YouTube? The dude has like millions upon millions of followers, and he does like tech reviews. I like saw him in the background of like one of your videos.
You saw him? Dang.
Yeah.
See, I was trying to find him the whole time because I like him. I love watching his videos.
I could have. I'm almost positive that was him. He was on. It looked like one of the virtual reality games.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Could have been him. Could have just been me, stereotypical black guy identifying. But I'm almost positive that was him.
It definitely would have been him because I know he was there. I know he was there for the trip because I saw he actually was in the video of a couple other people. And he did his own videos obviously as well. So I know he was there. I was trying to find him the whole time, but I couldn't find him. But I guess I did find him, and I just didn't know it. So I had to go back and look through. And then also iJustine, who I've been subscribed to for years on YouTube. Saw her in person. I was actually visiting my ex-boss, who had changed companies. And we're back in like the VIP area at his in his booth. And then right next to me, I look up, I was like, it's iJustine. It's like one of my YouTube crushes for a long time.
Uh-oh. Did you go and tell her that?
Well, she was there. They were getting ready to go shoot. So, like, she walked out. So, I was like, hey. I told my boss, I was like, hey, man, I got to go find this girl. I just want to go take a picture and say hi. So, and I was with a couple coworkers, and I was like, do you guys know who that is? They're like, no. And I told them, they're like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, yeah, there's just somebody you follow for a long time. You respect their work. You want to tell them hi. So I semi-stalked her. I don't know what you would call it. But no, they had this...
like peeking around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. No, they had this sort of like in-home experience where like you go up to your front door, facial recognition, it sees you, it opens the door for you, and then like basically your whole home is run, by the future, like Siri and stuff like that.
Wow.
So like you could say, turn on the lights, turn off the lights, turn on TV, give me suggestions of good movies to watch, blah blah blah. And every room you walk in, you could basically adjust it to whatever you want. And so she and her sister, who does, who films for her sometime, we're doing a video walkthrough of this thing while I was on the tour, sort of behind them. So I broke off from the tour and I told my coworkers, I was like, hey, I'm gonna get a picture with her real quick. And they're like, all right. So they're just watching me trying to angle over to her. That's the only reason I was in that experience. I didn't care about the rest of that crap. So like I waited for them to like take a break from what they were doing, and then I walked over. I was like, hey, Justine, and she looked over. I was like, hey, I love watching your YouTube videos. You're really great. You do such a great job. You're very informative. I appreciate you. I've been subscribed to you for years. So I'm a big fan and big fan of your work, and I'd love to see if I get a selfie with you. She was like, oh yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. Thank you for the compliments. She gave me a selfie. She was really nice. And she's like, all right, black man, get out of my face. I got to go to work. I'm just playing. But no, she was cool. It was really cool actually to see, somebody like that. Cause, I saw some celebrities last year, which was cool too. But, to see somebody like that, who's like a real person down to earth and you've been watching them for a while, it's pretty cool. So,
that's cool.
Let's see here. Oh, one thing I didn't talk about. So, Samsung came out with this thing, and I know I'm running way long, but this is my full-on week recap, y'all. There's so much. It was overwhelming, the amount of things that I saw and tried to do. Samsung came out with this thing last year called the Wall, and this year they brought it back and even bigger. So just imagine a wall in your house, the biggest wall in your house. It doesn't matter where it is, the biggest wall in your house. Convert that whole wall into an interactive video system, which basically you can have a television as small as 1 by 1 inch, a TV screen, but then at the same time tell that same 1 by 1 inch to expand to wall size. And basically the full wall turns on, or it flips from your regular sheetrock over into actual wall panels, actual TV panels. And as the TV is growing, it is actively adding on in size and scale to the 1 by 1 that you started with. And so your screen is small, but it looks like your screen is getting bigger as the wall expands. And the aspect ratio, everything is on point. And it's in, I don't know, 10K or 11K or something like that.
It's funny you talking about this, because right when you were talking about Justine, I went to check out her channel, and bam, there's the wall, and I'm looking at her review right now on the wall.
It's crazy. And so you could be watching 20 different things at once. You could have
I could
mood lighting.
So that's just like Back to the Future 2, when the young Marty McFly says, he comes in and he's like, turn on this channel, this channel, this channel, this channel.
Yeah.
And it's all on his wall.
Yeah.
It's all separate screens. But then, of course, the older Marty McFly comes and he gets a call, and it's like a full wall screen of a video conference or something. So
it's just like that.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And say you want, to have a little bit of serenity. So you could have the edges of your wall. The edges of your wall have look like it's burning incense and candles, all the way down the sides on either side, right? And then the middle.
I just have a beach view the whole time.
Yeah, in the middle, like you're, and if it's the size of your wall, just imagine if it's full size of one wall, you would actually feel like you're at the beach, if it's that big, And total surround sound built into the screens. It's insane.
Did they have a price?
There was no price, but man, I swear the price got to be crazy.
Too much.
Price has to be insane. So I was really, I don't know, that sort of blew me away. And it's crazy because really, you could scale it to whatever size you want. So if you just wanted to be a 100-foot wide and like 2-foot high strip that's going around, that's all you could do. You could just set it like that. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted, to play all of the football games that are happening at the moment, you could have all of them on, like 40-inch screens all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So, crazy. I mean, that technology, when that is actually released for the public, I mean, there's a lot of sports bar type places like that, that are going to take advantage of that and run with it. And a lot of companies that, maybe have, meetings or something like that, and they have to video conference in people from all over the place. Like, that'd be dope. Just imagine if it was Kingsman, right? The movie Kingsman. And they wouldn't have to hologram these fools into their chairs. They could just all talk to them on the wall. But they could hologram, because that thing is coming out too. It's funny when you said Back to the Future 2. I actually saw some Air Mags at a store there called Crossover. It's in the Cosmopolitan Hotel, I believe, or Aria Hotel. They're on the Strip, and the store was closed, but they sell a lot of good, a lot of pretty dope shoes and clothes. But yeah, it was closed by the time I walked by. It was late that night, but I saw the Air Max in the window. I was like, ooh, these are real. They're in front of me. It's an actual thing. It's not a unicorn that people talk about. But man, there's so much stuff that happens at the show, and like I said, man, if you ever have the opportunity, it's definitely worth it. I think a full week pass is like $300 if you're just coming like as just a regular show attendee. But you have to be in some kind of industry that links up, or some kind of industry that has any kind of play there. So like where you work right now, you would be able to get in, because there's companies that are similar to your company that are there. Where I work, it would be similar. Even on the art side, even on the design side, stuff that you do, you'd still be able to get in. You just have to have some kind of form of either business card or publication that has your name, like you wrote an article, or email address that directly links up, or even if your name is on like a website of this company saying that you're like, this is whatever your position is. So yeah, you'd be able to get in, but there's a little bit of verification. So yeah, man, pretty interesting. But all that being said, dang, where are we on time right now? Oh yeah, we're an hour in almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
All that being said, there's some fundamental truths about Las Vegas that I've grown to learn. I guess now having gone there, several times as an adult. I only went there a couple of times as a kid, but I wouldn't. As a kid, I didn't remember all this stuff, and I don't think it affected me the same. But several fundamental truths about Las Vegas. Should I talk about it now, or should I bring it back after the break?
Hell, bring it back after the break, I guess.
Bring it back after the break. So yeah, cool. Well, guys, whatever you thought about, if you followed any of our CES stuff, if you had any questions, anything like that, you could always reach out to us, ask us, give us a phone call, or, ask us questions via any of our socials. Jay, before we go to the break, why don't you tell the people how they could give us a call, and then we'll come back and do some other things.
Yes, give us a call at 3853-BLAKPC. It's 3853-252572. Give us a call. Ask us something. We'll answer it to the best of our black ability.
Hey, are you a boss?
You know it.
Well, do you like boxes?
Come on, man. I be tapping them things all the time.
Well, how about trying our new sponsor, Boss Boxes?
Boss Box is a monthly gaming subscription box that delivers games, headphones, controller grips, energy drinks, munchies, and products from all your favorite games right to your front door.
You can even get pass boxes if you want them.
So everybody head on over to bossboxes.store for some of the best monthly gaming boxes you can buy.
Use discount code Blackout10 at checkout for 10% off, and for a limited time, use BB20 for an extra 20% off your order. Boss Boxes, the best monthly gaming boxes delivered right to your doorstep. Like a boss.
What up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob, host of the Random Rambles with Rob podcast. While you're taking your break, using your hooks, rubs, and spices on your love boxes and everything, tapping them oh so gently and vigorously at the same time, I want you to tune in on iTunes, Stitcher, and everywhere else that you listen to your podcast and check out the hashtag Blackout Podcast. Why? Because we blacking out.
Hey man, it's Chuck. We from the Whatever Man podcast, and we ain't out here slanging and banging and doing wild shit, fucking with bitches and big ass white girls. We listening to the hashtag Blackout podcast, and you should too, you degenerate bastard motherfuckers.
Alright guys, we're going to talk to y'all about hooks, rubs, and spices. Jay, what you think about hooks, rubs?
I love hooks, rubs, and spices. I put it on everything that I grill, all my veggies, everything that we cook inside our house. Hooks, rubs, and spices is the one that we go to.
I'm sure you put it on just about everything you put in your mouth, right?
That's pretty much accurate. Yep.
Man, Hooks, Rubs, and Spices has 4 great flavors. The Mad Cow, the Smoky Burn, the Lemon Pepper, and the fan favorite Smoking Sweetness. You can find them at etsy.com/shop/Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. You can also find them on Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram at Hooks Spice Rubs. If you go on there and place your order, use the code MyHooks10. You'll get 10% off your order. So yeah, go on and check out some Hooks Rub. Hashtag We Smoke Meat.
All right, welcome back, people. We're going to jump into Jared's 10 fundamental truths about Vegas. Stuff maybe we just didn't think about. But he has the knowledge because he's been there quite a few times.
Man, I'm telling you what, yeah. So, 10 fundamental truths about Las Vegas. I didn't really know I'd get 10, but I have 10, and there's probably more that I'm not even thinking of. And if there's some fundamental truths about Vegas that you people have noticed, you know, Jay already told you just before the break how to reach out to us and call us and tell us, or you can leave them in the comments. But these are things that I've noticed that happen every time I go to Las Vegas. Every time I go to Las Vegas. So, and these are not in a specific order. This stuff just happens, and I just sort of wrote it down. So, overly expensive. So, I mean, unless you're from a place like New York, Philly, or Los Angeles, when you go to Las Vegas, stuff is way more expensive than it should be, right? I'm gonna tell you this. I bought a pack of beef jerky, a small pack of beef jerky, and some better cheddars. You remember those crackers, better cheddars? They're like they look like little like I don't know. They're like a round version of Cheez-Its. They're a lot better, and I used to eat them back in the day when I was a little kid. So you can find a box of better cheddars right now at the store for like $2, maybe, right? And a pack of beef jerky this size, probably about $6, maybe. I bought this inside my hotel one night. It was $17. $17. You know, drinks. All drinks. If you get a cocktail, regular cocktail, I got like a Tito's and Sprite, right? That was $25. $25 for one drink. Now, mind you, well, I guess if you're in Utah, a Utah cocktail versus a Las Vegas cocktail is like half. So like half the alcohol, you know, more soda, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot whacker. So, but yeah, man, it was a lot. Also in Las Vegas, you know, you buy like a beer. It's like $6 for a beer, something like that, just for like a small can of beer. So, or $8 or $10 for like a double size, like a half of 40. So I don't know, man, it's crazy. So overly expensive. So not only that with that, but also the food is more expensive. You know, and it's just a touristy place, so there's probably like a tourist fee added to everything that happens in Las Vegas. So yeah, overly expensive. That's one thing. Another thing. So, the soap and lotion, right? The soap and lotion in your and also the soap, lotion, and then I guess the stuff in your room, right? The soap there's some hotels that have like really nice, good, elegant, like clean smelling soap that looks like it's never been opened. Some hotels don't.
Right.
That's the same with the lotion packet, lotion bottles and shampoo and conditioner. Some of those you don't really want to know what's in that milky white substance. But some hotels actually have like a cover on them.
Especially in Vegas.
Oh, especially in Vegas. Some hotels actually have like a cover, on them, or some kind of like, like like tamper evident seal. So some things you can trust, some things not so much. And then with that in the room, your mini bar, right? So every room in Las Vegas has a mini bar, mini fridge, and apparently it is weighted specifically, so it knows that if you pick up, the Kit Kat that's in the mini bar, if you pick up a soda, if you pick up a beer, or if you pull out that that bottle of champagne, it's weighted a certain way that actually immediately broadcasts that back to the front desk, and it adds it to your bill. So the first night I was there, I got like a free bottle of water, from the front desk. It's pretty cool little dude who's working in the front desk. Shout out to Chris, I think his name was. And yeah, man, got back to my room. I was like, dang, I need to put this away so it just stay cold. Opened up the mini fridge. Every nook and cranny was covered by something like some alcohol or sodas or food or whatever. Like, dang, there's no room in there. So I tried to jam it in somewhere, it wouldn't go. So I was like, whatever, I'll just put it on my counter. So the day that I went to check out, I saw that there was like a $12 room service fee. I was like, what? I ain't get a room service. So I called down and I was like, hey, what's the deal with this room service fee? They're like, it shows here that you drank a Red Bull. And I was like, no, I didn't. They're like, no, it's if you touch the mini fridge, it shows that that the Red Bull was taken out. So that's why that was a charge. It was $12 for a Red Bull. I was like, nah. First of all, I don't like Red Bull. Second of all, I tried to put one of my waters in there and it didn't fit. And she was like, yeah, we specifically have it set up where people can't really put food in there because and what she said that they don't. It's not at the right temperature to hold food, like perishable food, like leftovers and stuff. So the reason why they do that, is to just have it stocked and cold if anybody wants anything. But it's weighted specifically to know and inform us if somebody moves or takes something. And if you want a fridge, if you want a mini fridge, you could actually rent one from the front desk for like $25 a day or something crazy. I was like, nah, G. I was like, I didn't drink that, so can you just take it off? They took it off the bill. It was nice, and she was like, yeah, I understand. That happens all the time. So I was like, man, just imagine if you hadn't said anything, or you just got your bill and just was like, yeah, just charge it to the game and I'll check the bill later. Yeah, dog, it was crazy. So, yeah, crazy. so that, and then also, this goes along with, stuff in your room. Stains.
Oh boy.
Right?
Yep.
Stains.
Don't know where those come from.
Thankfully, I had a very clean room. It was nice for the most part. Didn't have any issues with it. I did get a new towel, from room service one day that I wiped my face with it the next day, and I swear to you, Jay, I swear to you people, that it smelled, even though the towel looked clean and initially, when I was wiping my face, I inhaled and it smelled like throw up. It smelled like somebody's old throw up towel that I wiped my face with. So I had to rewash my face all over again after that. So I don't know where that came from. I didn't want to ask. I just threw it on the floor immediately. I was like, I'm never using that towel again. Why'd they give me a throw up towel? Then when I was at the elevator, getting ready to go downstairs, and this is a nice hotel. The MGM Grand is a nice hotel. On the ceiling, there was either blood or ketchup on the ceiling, right above. I don't know why. I don't know how.
Let's hope it was ketchup.
I don't know how it got there. It's like, that song, How Did You Get Here? Who's that? Jill Scott? I don't know who sang that. I don't know who sang that song. Either way, I was looking at it, I was like, how did you get here? Ketchup ain't supposed to be here. But, nah, it was that. Okay, so, that's all encompassing one. So, next truth. The Vegas flu, right? They call it the Vegas flu.
Okay.
If I'm in Vegas for longer than 24 hours, I always come away with like a scratchy throat. I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe it's like the addition of smoke in the air, because where I am, you can't really smoke in public places. So the addition of smoke in the air and the addition of people from all over the world, you know, all kinds of hygiene, stuff like that.
True.
Like the second day I'm there, I always have a scratchy throat, and I'm like, dang, I just can't get away from it. But they sort of call it's a thing, like they call it like the Vegas flu or something like that, or the Vegas cold. So everybody sort of gets it. If you're there for longer than a day, every time you go to Vegas, when you're in downtown, when you walk into a casino, walk to a hotel, they all have this same distinct smell, and I can't really put my hand on it, but it's really like a combination of like Badussi, smoke, alcohol, money, Stetson cologne,
nice,
Victoria's Secret lingerie, feet, and hair product. Like, it's all of that.
That's a lot of smells.
It's like all of that, but like really Badussi is mostly. But all of that. And yeah, wherever you go, it always smells the same. And like, even when you get to the airport and get out and like you inhale the air, you're like, oh yeah, I'm in Vegas. Like, I don't know what it is, but it smells the same wherever you go. I stayed in quite a few hotels there, or walked through a lot of different casinos and hotels there. All smell the same. Wow, let's see here. Women's attire. So yeah, man, that's what I really want to talk about. That like wherever you are, if you know somebody specifically, you know them, you know where you live, what they normally would wear. When they go to Las Vegas, everybody
completely
strips.
Different.
You know what I'm saying? All the women, wear, are scantily clad, and all the guys for some reason are wearing like either jeans or slacks with a sports coat and no tie. Like,
yeah, you gotta let the hoe out sometimes.
That's when they let them hoes out. All the hoes out. There was I can't remember. I was going back to my hotel room one day, real quick, and there were like 40 women, all dressed up like they were going out for the night. They were all friends, all together, taking pictures. They're by like a water fountain, like right by the elevators, and I mean, they were all, they all looked really good. They looked like they're just a bunch of like models. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny. There's all these guys who were there for the convention, and just other random guys who were just standing there, just like in awe, just staring at these women. I'm like, man, y'all are creepy. But they're just sitting there staring at them while these ladies are just like taking pictures and primping and waiting for somebody else to show up. And they're just like sitting there with their mouths out. I was like, this isn't a photo shoot. This isn't like, the Miss American Tropic thing, or maybe it was, I don't know, but like, it wasn't like an event that you just like sit and watch. It was like women just getting ready. I was like, man, y'all are sad, but I look too though, so I was there.
I would be too,
man. Okay, so women's attire though, but yeah, if you're walking up and down the strip, you see girls that wear stuff that, like, I know you probably don't wear that at home, but I know since you're in Vegas, that's why you wear that. Let's see, another truth. Gambling. Man, I didn't gamble this time, but when you walk around every casino, doesn't matter the time of day, is full of people throwing their money away or trying to win money.
Of course.
But like, you can imagine, like, if you just think on the strip itself, there's, I don't know, 20, 30 hotels. I don't know how many hotels are on the strip, but like every single one you go into, they have these huge gambling floors that are, multiple football fields, wide, between craps tables and blackjack tables, poker tables, slot machines, the VIP rooms, all these places. Everyone you walk into, always, any time of day, morning, noon, or night, there's tons of people filling up these places. It's crazy. And just imagine this, like somebody, it's just like us playing video games, like back in the day. We'd sit there for hours. But there's people who sit in front of slot machines and just drop their quarter in, or, like pay their credit or whatever for whatever it is, for hours and hours and hours.
Right.
It's nuts, man. Gambling is nuts there. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not. But it's just interesting watching people. And I had some friends who gambled, did like some, played, some blackjack and stuff like that. So I watched them for a while. Come out ahead and come out way behind too. So interesting. So let's see here. This is sort of a combo one. Close to the face combos close to the face conversations / bad breath. A lot of places there. It's loud. It's loud. It's hustling. It's bustling. Sometimes you have to have a close to the face conversation. And when I mean close to the face, I mean anything 12 inches or in, right? Pause, 12 inches. But close to the face conversations a lot of time had to happen, especially at a convention like this. Like I said, there's like 180,000 people at this convention, right? Not all in the same building at the same time, but still, it's a lot of people around you. A lot of bells and whistles and noise and media and stuff like that going on. So you have to have close to face convention. There's several times I had conversations with people, and I was like, man, I wouldn't even listen to what they were saying because I could not wait to be done with the conversation because their breath smells so bad. Imagine this. Imagine the worst coffee plus smoke,
cigarettes
plus Badussi and ketchup, and mustard, all mixed into one scent, and Coca-Cola at the end to wash it down.
That's funny.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. Like some of these people, it smelled like they brushed their teeth, but their the minty smell was covered up by their butt. Like that's what it smelled like. It was so bad. It was so bad. There's so many conversations. I was like, I'm done with this conversation. I just want you to get out of my face as fast as I can. Or I tried to turn my head, so I wouldn't be in the way of their talking, but they sort of moved their head so they could talk to me more directly. Like, dog, don't you realize I'm not trying to talk to your face? I ain't trying to smell your face. But yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Another fundamental truth. Shoes matter. Shoes matter when you're on the strip. So, you could roll out there with them Nike, those Jordan OG, the first Air Jordans, the first OG Jordans, flat bottoms, don't really have much support. Not a good idea.
Right.
First time I went, I had my brand new clean, Jordan 1s. Not a good idea. Man, my feet was killing me that night. By the end of the night, I took a train and an Uber to get back home. I did not, and I was only like a mile away from my hotel, so I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. Actually, no, we were much further. But either way, so you got to have some support. You got to have some good shoes. There's people who walk out there in heels, the ladies. There's guys who walk out there in, in dress shoes because they want to look good. Good looking fellas out there, wearing their clothes. Nah, G, I'm not about that life. I'm wearing running shoes, some kind of supportive tennis shoes. I mean, I may even wear the Nike Air Republicans, you know what I'm saying? Because those are super supportive. A lot of cushion, But, nah, dog. Anytime you're there, wear some good quality, comfortable shoes, especially if you decide to walk the strip one night. It's it's like, 3, 4, 5 miles, something like that, the full strip. And that's just, that's walking up one side. Especially if you want to stop and do things, whatever. Yeah, man, definitely get some good, comfortable shoes because your feet will be killing you. And regardless, your feet will probably hurt. Your knees will probably get sore a little bit after walking a little bit like that. But yeah, that's one of those things, man.
It's all in good Vegas fun.
It's all in good Vegas fun. And the last truth I'll say is, man, strip club tickets. So it's very sad, and I may have mentioned this after I went, the first time, a while back, maybe last year, I can't remember. But there's people who stand on every corner, between every block, old and young, man, woman, grandma, down to like your nephew, who are sit there have business cards in their hand. They keep popping in their hand. They're popping these cards in their hand, and they say, "Hey, you want to go to strip club? Want to go to strip club? Hey, free delivery, free transportation to a strip club, free food, free drinks, strip club. Like, you want to go to strip club?" And that guy, I'm like, "What is this? I didn't go. I didn't want to go to that. I had no time for that. That was college. But no, like there was I don't know. There's so many people doing that, and I guess it's one of these things. You know, if you bring their card to the club, then maybe these people get paid out or something like that for that. But there's so many people. There's little old ladies. You know what I'm saying? Little old ladies who should be at home like cuddling their grandkids, who are out there like peddling boobies. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. But you find it all over wherever you go, even at the airport. There was fools at the airport who were like limo drivers, like, "Hey, dog, you want to go to strip club? Come on, I'll take you there, or I'll tell you the right one to go to, or call me later on. You know, my name is Ray Ray. You want to go? Take this card. Call me. I'm always on call.
Take this card, show it at the door. Actually, ask for a guy named Greg. He worked behind the bar. Show it to him. He'll get you into the VIP Super Baller room where there's unlimited lap dances. Man.
It's just $1,000 buy-in. You know, you just got to pay $1,000. It's crazy, man. There's so much of that. It's so much, and it's not on the strip. They take you off the strip for that, obviously, to go to the strip club. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy. To me, it's insane. I don't know. But you know, there's people there that are there for that specifically. Like, there's a lot of those guys target like the groups of Chinese businessmen and Japanese businessmen. You know, it's pretty hilarious. But yeah, those are my 10 fundamental truths. There's more stuff I could have talked about, like the price of food, the expense of transportation. You know, the best way to transport around, which is Uber or Lyft. You know, not or the monorail, not taxis. You know, there's other stuff. Secret pizza that I found in the Cosmopolitan. You know, there's all kinds of stuff I could talk about. But yeah, those are the things that stood out the most, especially the Badussi. So yeah, man, if y'all have some truths about Vegas that you know of, yeah, hit us up and let us know. But now is that time, and we'll get to these voicemails we've been holding on to. Our cousin Kayla sent us a few voicemails, and hey, you know, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to Kayla once again, as we said on the last episode, 113. You know, we've been behind, so we got to catch up now. We got to catch up on some of these voicemails. But Jay already told you how to call us, but Jay, just please remind the people as I try to queue up this first voicemail.
All right, people. Get your pencil and paper. Write this down. 385-3BLAKPC. It's 385-325-2572. Give us a call. Tell us your truths about Vegas. Let us know what places you went to that smelled like Badussi.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So many. All of them. All right, here we go. So first things first.
First things first.
3, 2, 1.
Yo, it's me, Memphis Diesel. So, you know, I'm just getting home, and I was listening to this stuff about R. Kelly is broke. Now, I like R. Kelly music. You know, I hate he's a sick asshole, but, you know, I like his music, but he's in Africa, and they showed this clip of him saying, "Get your passport. Do you want to come back to America?" So they're saying what they think he's going to do, because he's touring Africa right now, and they think he's probably going to try to move to Africa. So it's just quite fascinating. And what do y'all think about Kevin Hart? He's supposed to do something for the Oscars, but somebody pulled up some information about him saying faggot a couple of years ago. Bernie Mac said it too. I don't like the word, but I'm just saying, rest in peace, Bernie Mac. But if Bernie was living, I don't think they would do it to him. So I think they're just doing it to Kevin because Kevin a call. He kind of soft. But okay then, bye y'all.
Wow. All right. Couple things in that. So what do you think about the questions that she had there? The Kevin Hart thing, the R. Kelly thing.
All right, Kevin Hart. Wow. Both of those questions are kind of like long-winded. They could end up turning to a long discussion. So Kevin Hart, thing about his word, he came out, he apologized for it. Man, where do I even go with this? There's been so many entertainers and musicians, comedians, actors that have said that word. Not saying it's right. Definitely not a right thing to do, but a lot of them have, he apologized for it. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't seem like people could let it go. He turned down the Oscars or to host them. Mm-hmm. What more can he do? He's went on national TV and apologized for it again on the Ellen show. So I think they just accept his apology for what it was. He said he was young and dumb when he said it. So yeah, what more do you want from it?
Yeah, right.
R. Kelly on the other hand, that's turned into such a storm.
Man,
wow, especially this past week with that show that came out, Surviving R. Kelly.
Yep.
I never really was big on his music or anything. I've heard he was trying to move to Africa. He's trying to flee the country because, I think there's a FBI investigation about to take place, or it's taking place now or something. Mm-hmm. So, man, I don't know, man. He just has so many issues with him, and the thing that's crazy is the argument now of separating R. Kelly's art from his personal life. And like I said, I've never been a super huge fan of his music. Mm-hmm. There's been some jams he's had, but I don't know. It's a tough question to answer quickly. I'm not sure how to even answer it, but I think he should just face his consequences, especially with all these women coming out. And it's a lot more horrific and gruesome than say Bill Cosby's, even though his was just as bad. But you can't be keeping people held kind of hostage in certain situations and things like that. So he need to own up and fess up to his mistakes, man.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna say this. Okay, so Kevin Hart thing, sort of like what you said. What more could he do? Obviously, he said something that was that he regrets. And really, it's one of those things. At the time he said it. Maybe I don't know what his motivation was, but it is what it is, and he's apologized. And I think nowadays, this is the problem nowadays. People are desensitized now to people's apologies. You can apologize as much as you want. You could try to be contrite, and people, may not necessarily care. They may be like, "Nah, you're not. You're just saying that just because you got caught." You know what I'm saying? So people don't buy it as much as they have in the past. Even though the good thing is, just like with sports, it's so crazy. Time sort of heals wounds, and actually, time can also add for forgiveness for you. So maybe that's probably it's going to happen with Kevin Hart, because obviously he has a new movie coming out. He's still going to be the same comedian, and he'll have he'll still be out there in the limelight, and he'll be able to help make up for this ding on his image. But it's one of those things, man. Everybody has something problematic that they have either emailed or tweeted or Facebook post or Instagram, posted at some point in time. Everybody has something that may not be problematic to them, but it's problematic to someone else or another group of people.
Yeah, of course.
So if you ever have, if our show ever gets big, shoot, dog, they'll probably look back at some of our posts and be like, "That's problematic." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody has something like that. And it's just a matter of thing. Just a matter as because when he was announced to be hosting the Oscars, there's always certain groups of people out there, regardless of what group it is. PETA, human rights activists, gender rights activists, etc. That have either parts of their organization or troll organizations that are with them, that are associated with them, that go back and investigate every single Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Black Planet post you ever did in your life. You know what I'm saying? And they'll find it. If you said it, they'll find it. Either your personal one or your business one, they'll find it and they'll bring it to the light. It is what it is, man. I mean, shoot, dog. I know I got some problematic stuff I said way back in the day, but hey, if it comes to light, it came to light. I said it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Yeah.
And at the time, at the time, it may have had a different connotation, or it may have had a different, you may have had different energy behind it back in the day. Whereas nowadays, with a little more, a little more social interaction, a little more, thought behind, what you say as an older person compared to a younger person, you probably wouldn't say that, and you'd be apologetic. If somebody ever brought that up and you're like, oh yeah, now I remember saying that, or I don't remember saying that, but, I wrote it, so I'm sorry. So, hey man, it is what it is. With the R. Kelly thing, man, ooh, dog, I loved R. Kelly back in the day. I used to, jam that 12 play, you know what I'm saying? That's that love-making music right there.
I remember when that came out.
The Chocolate Factory, you know what I'm saying? I actually had the Chocolate Factory CD, and it was good. There's people still out there stepping. They don't care what he's doing. He's drip, dripping on people like the Dave Chappelle show. It's so funny. But then also, everybody's always sort of thought that he was sort of a skanky dude. Saying that he married Aaliyah or whatever it was back in the day when she was like, 16. I don't know what she was. That was weird. Don't do that.
Yeah.
This surviving R. Kelly thing, man. Yeah, it's bad. I don't know. It's weird because he sort of told everybody in code really what he was, but nobody really truly pulled it off of that. He called himself the Pied Piper, so people think he talking about laying the pipe. They didn't really put two and two together because the Pied Piper is a story about somebody playing music on like a flute or something like that and leading all these rats to death, pretty much, or leading them away from a city and probably eventually killing them. So yeah, man. So I mean, he was the Pied Piper. He was like leading these women allegedly to some compound or house and doing whatever he wanted to do with them. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I don't know.
Crazy.
R. Kelly probably gonna be sitting up here next to Bill Cosby, trying to not get his pudding popped. You know what I'm saying? Trying not to get that Hershey stain on him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy.
Gonna get his pie piped. Wait, what?
Hey, wait, what?
He's gonna get his pie piped.
Wow.
Salad toast. I don't know. Hey.
Jelly or syrup.
And that voicemail was back from like early mid-December, so I'm sure she has another voicemail that's gonna come up about that. But yeah, so since this is the Memphis Diva voicemail time frame, yeah, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Next.
Hey y'all, this is Memphis Diva calling y'all, aka Kayla. And so, I was reading that Jacquees, this singer on Cash Money label, talking about he is the all-time, he's the king of R&B. Lies, little boy. So what are y'all top 5 R&B singers? Mine?
Man.
Some of them dead, but mine is Marvin Gaye, Usher. Well, his pee-pee dead. R. Kelly.
What?
He a pedophile. Ron Isley, and I want to say Al Green, but then, man, Chris Brown on that list too. And Sam, wait, Otis Redding. Oh wait, and Donny Hathaway. And Bobby Womack. Damn it. I'll call y'all back.
Wow.
Okay.
So
she got a lot of problematic people on her top list.
Yeah. That's a lot of she's mentioned a whole bunch. That's a lot to throw on me to answer quick. That's a lot to throw on both of us.
You could just answer it. I'm not gonna talk about Jacquees because I don't give him a time of day.
No. Wow. Like I want to put Al up there. She mentioned Al Green. She mentioned Donny Hathaway. Boy. Are we gonna put? Man, there's so many.
There's so many. It's hard to answer that. That'd be a show in itself.
Yeah, that'd be a show in itself. Keith Sweat.
Oh,
he puts
dang.
Keith Sweat, even though he had that little run-in with Jacquees.
Yeah. Well, it's really Jacquees' fault because that fool. I don't know.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot like running through my head right now. I could see her with the Chris Brown. I could understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Usher was one. Man, that's too many. I can't narrow down because all my list is probably gonna be like pre.
Oh yeah,
2000s.
Yours and mine would probably be a lot of New Jack Swing / old school R&B guys from. We used to say old school, so it's like really like the 1990s. You know, maybe some from earlier than 1990s, but mostly 1990s and early 2000s.
Mine would probably be like that. I guess that New Jack Swing from the 90s, but I think a lot of mine would be mostly from like 70s, 80s, maybe.
Yeah.
60s.
But we call that, I don't even know, but see, that's when we get to the same question of like, is it called soul or is it called hip hop?
Or is it called
I'm sorry.
rhythm and blues?
Yeah, or rhythm and blues. Yeah. So, I don't know. Either way, that's a big question.
Yeah, true.
I mean, if you asked me back in the day before, this foolishness came out about surviving R. Kelly, I'd have had him in my top 10. I'd have had, Usher, because I used to take Usher. Usher was what I played, at the beginning of every day in college. I swear. That Nice and Slow soundtrack, or that Nice and Slow CD. Man, I had that playing in my car, and it worked a lot of times. Sometimes it didn't, but whatever. Keith Sweat back in the day, Joe. There's so many people back there. I can't even. It's too much. Chris Brown right now, even though he is also crazy. I don't know, man. There's a lot, but there's a lot. So those are some of the tops. We'll just leave it at that. Dang, Marvin Gaye. Oh, that's too many. Okay, on to the next. That's a good question though. We're gonna have to try to put that together. Maybe we should do a straight up episode, and then have her on it so she can slim down her list. And we could talk about it. So Kayla, we inviting you back sometime. So we need to build that show.
I'll get my wife in on that too. She's a big R&B fan.
Good. And honestly, my wife is too. But I don't know if she wouldn't come on the show though. So here we go. Next. 3, 2, 1.
What up, y'all? It's me again, Memphis Diva. Okay, so we were at lunch, and we were talking about the best R&B movie soundtracks, okay? So, my little white co-worker talking about The Bodyguard. I said, okie dokie. But I think Purple Rain, Waiting to Exhale, and I want to say my bestest, favoriteest had to be that damn Love Jones soundtrack. And the best man, maybe? No, Love and Basketball. That's just my no, The Wiz. Oh, damn, here we go again. I'm gonna call y'all later.
That's funny. She actually called us. She actually called us later in the same day that she called us about the King of R&B. that question. That's great. Wow. Man. That's one. That's another one of those things that has. There's a lot of answers you could possibly give, man. A lot of answers you could possibly give.
Wow. R&B movie soundtracks. Probably gotta go with Boomerang.
That's a good one.
Let me think. R&B movie soundtrack. Let me think. Everything in my head is like mostly hip hop soundtrack, or has a lot of hip hop.
Yeah.
New Jack. Yeah, we mentioned New Jack Swing, maybe New Jack City. New Jack City did have like some. Yeah.
Yeah, it had Keith Sweat.
Yeah, those would probably be my two. Now I got to go revisit those two and see what they had on it. But yeah, she mentioned Purple Rain. Purple Rain was dope.
Yeah,
of course, obviously. Yeah, so those three. Let's just go with those three for me.
And I definitely say Love Jones soundtrack, New Jack City soundtrack was good. Let me think who else. What else had a good one? And these, we're bringing it back. Way back in the day, like these old movies with these soundtracks of real good singers from the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Soul Food, The Best Man, all had good music on the soundtracks. There's too many. There's too many. Because this is what happens. Like, because you look at those soundtracks and you just look at the artists that are on these soundtracks, and you're like, wow, I like this artist, but I don't like this artist, but that song, I like that song. Have Plenty, that movie back in the day had a really good soundtrack, and there's some songs on there that every now and then, if I hear them or if I like pull them up or pull out my CD, which I don't do it at all, there's songs on there that I would still listen to. Thin Line Between Love and Hate had a good soundtrack.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Man, those are hard. That would be a hard, episode to put together, because there'd be so many great ones and then so many more honorable mentions. So that's a great question. It's a great question. Maybe we could do like a one's gotta go or one's gotta stay. Again, we need to get back to that with best R&B soundtracks, or who's the king of R&B, et cetera, so we can build on that show. So yeah, so
right.
Good question again. So let's see what else you got here, Kayla. Next question now.
Hey, it's Mrs. Diva. I'm calling to wish all a happy holidays. I'm at home sick with what they're calling the Memphis crud. It's a flu and pneumonia strain, and I've been off work since Tuesday, and I don't have to go back to work till Wednesday, so I'm in the house, and people are scared to come in where they were, because I was running a fever, but that's stalling. Yeah, that's what they call it, the Memphis crud. Right. I'm on meds, so y'all take care of yourselves, because it's a flu strain, and it's no joke. So they probably call y'all or whatever city y'all live in. But I hope all is well, and I'm up all times of the night because my medication that they got me on. So I'll be calling y'all. Okay then. Tell Santa Claus to bring me a pizza. Supreme pizza. Okay then. Bye-bye.
Oh, Kayla. Yeah. Hopefully you're better now from the Memphis crud, but that sounded just like the Las Vegas flu, I swear.
Yeah. And hopefully that Supreme Pizza hit the spot.
Yes indeed, yeah. That was, what was that? That was just a few days before Christmas. It looks like she actually sent us another one just for Christmas. So hope you're better. It looks like you're better now, because I've seen more voicemails come from you. So yeah, definitely better, thankfully. So yeah, let's listen to this next one here.
Happy holidays. Blackout Podcast. It's me, Mrs. Diva. Day 8 of being in the house, recuperating of the pneumonia flu, aka the Memphis crud. But I'm better. So what's good on Netflix, y'all? They talking about this movie called Bird Box, and I just watched it, and it is really good. It's really good. I mean, you never see the monsters, but it's pretty good. And then I'm gonna look at Dumplings later, which is really funny, and all that good stuff. So I spend a lot of time looking at Netflix and looking out the window. My neighbor's got a bonfire over there, a barrel fire. They sitting around drinking liquor around the barrel fire. And I've been getting people coming over to bring me food and stuff, so gotta be at work Wednesday. I got 2 more days maybe. But happy holidays. take care of yourself. There's some nasty flu stuff going around. Starts off as sinus, but it winds up being something else. Peace out.
Okay, progressively getting better. Did we talk about Bird Box real quick last week or no?
We did a little bit.
Did you see it?
I thought it was a good movie. Yeah, I saw it.
Saw it.
I saw it. I thought it was good. You know, wasn't bad.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, that's about the last thing I saw on Netflix, or I guess the last new thing I saw on Netflix lately. So
let's see, what did I start? I started watching something last night. I think it's called Sex Education.
Oh yeah, I saw
it's
that. It was coming
like
out.
a UK, yeah, like a UK based show. Mm-hmm. About this one kid. He's a son of a sex therapist. Mm-hmm. And of course, high school, all kids are like doing sexual, promiscuity in high school. So, yeah. Anyway, he's ended up becoming like this sex therapist to the high school kids, which is, it has its moments. I only watched like 2 episodes, but so far it's okay. Some funny moments, some what the hell moments, yeah. It's cool. It's all right.
Yeah, it's cool.
What else did I recently see on Netflix? Punisher's coming out next week.
Oh yeah, so I know that's coming out. I know the new episode of Black Mirror also released in the past couple of weeks. I just haven't watched it yet.
I hadn't had a chance to watch it, but I heard it was interesting. It took on that choose your own adventure kind of aspect from those books way back in the day.
Yeah.
So you could kind of choose your own adventure.
That's pretty cool.
That's
interesting.
The actual thing. But, of course, the creator of Choose Your Own Adventure ended up filing a lawsuit against Black Mirror Bandersnatch.
Really? Come on, man. Yeah. That doesn't make sense. That to me doesn't make sense because anyone could make... I don't think that's anything that you could, patent. You know what I'm saying? That you could trademark, Maybe the term you can trademark choose your own adventure, but it's like saying I don't know, what is it like the television or something. Anybody can make a TV, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or no.
Suing for, yeah.
Or not necessarily that, like writing an action film. Anybody could write one. Just because I wrote an action film doesn't mean,
true.
I don't know. It's weird. That's weird.
But they're suing for $25 million or Netflix's profits from the film, whichever amount is greatest.
Yeah, they're not. They probably ain't got no money no more because nobody out there trying to buy no choose your own adventure books. But maybe this would bring back a resurgence for them. I don't know. But Netflix already have several other things, shows that have something similar to that. I think they have a Minecraft. Actually, they have a Minecraft. Minecraft story mode or something like that you can choose your own character and choose your own adventure as well. Because my son showed me that, and so they have several other things like that. But I think it's foolish that the choose your own adventure people would come after them like that.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Oh boy,
it's sort of ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of ridiculous, but hey, whatever, dog. Whatever. To each their own. They'll waste their money on a lawsuit and probably not get paid for 10 years or something like that. And by then it won't even matter. So, whatever. Here we go.
Hey y'all, it's maybe 1 or 2 days before the New Year's, and it's me, Memphis Diva, and I wanted to say Happy New Year's to y'all. I'm feeling so much better from my little bout with pneumonia. 8 days in the house, 4 different antibiotics. I got through it. It was terrible. But anyways, I'm just on my way home, and I really didn't have much to talk about right now. But I'm finna get ready and go home and chill for a minute before I hang out at the motorcycle club, because I don't have to go to work Monday and Tuesday. We're doing holiday pay. But I'll hit you guys up tomorrow maybe, and talk about some trending topics. But I just wanted to wish y'all a happy New Year just in case I'm drunk and forget to call y'all. Okay, bye-bye.
There we go. Thank you, Kayla. Happy New Year back to you. Glad you're sounding better. So we're getting like the progression of your sickness to being well again. So this is good.
Mm-hmm.
This is good. This is good. This is good. So here we go. Next up.
Happy New Year's 2019. Hashtag Blackout Podcast. It's me, Mrs. Diva, and I'm riding home in the rain and we're driving. And I was wondering, what are your New Year's resolutions? Or did you guys make any? I had already been working on me, just trying to be the best person I could be. And I've learned how to focus more on myself and not on other stupid stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to take up kickboxing. Yeah, because I got a lot of stress I need to relieve. Do something different this year. That's my resolution. But I'm going to talk to y'all later. I got a pizza I'm going home to put in there, but yes, I am a little wine. Just going to be me, myself, and I. Okay, I'm going to talk to y'all later.
That's funny.
That's cool. Cool, yeah, man. So do you have any resolutions?
No resolutions. Just trying to continue to, like she said, be the best person I could be. You know, take a little more chances on certain things. That's about it, man. I there's nothing. I think the biggest one is just to get healthier. That's like number one, pretty much. So that's it. Nothing more. Nothing outrageous. Nothing crazy that I'm probably not going to accomplish. That I may not accomplish.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What about you?
Yeah, man. I wouldn't call them resolutions, but I would definitely say goals over resolutions. And I mean, there's some. It's funny she started kickboxing, and congrats to you, Memphis, on that. I actually started boxing before Christmas, before the holidays. So this is not a New Year's thing. This is something that, I decided that I wanted to do, and really it's based on my last doctor visit, like my 40-year-old checkup. And really, to be honest, doctor said I was really good. There's just there's just a couple of levels that could potentially be elevated if if I didn't make some changes, and potentially would lead to me having to take certain medicine and stuff. I'm like, I'm not about that life. So yeah, let me get on up in this gym and do something. I'm not a person who likes to go to the regular gym, but it's just because it's not motivating anymore. When I was younger and I was like in high school and I have friends to go work out with, or I get pushed by coaches, like that was more motivating than me wanting to just walk up to the gym and just go work out. It's just not. I can't just do that like I used to. And I really lost a lot of motivation for it. So here, right down the street from my house, is a boxing gym. And they have classes throughout the day, every day. They have really good skilled coaches, and it's it's boxing, so it's like boxing fitness. So you're moving and you're punching, and you're moving and you're punching, and you're doing all this stuff. So yeah, I like it, and it's been really good. And they had a really good deal, which I took advantage of to start. So yeah, so shout out to Legends Boxing. So yeah, man. But as far as other resolutions or other things, yeah, I was looking at it this morning as I sat down and started talking to you. I definitely need to finish my office, which I've talked about before. I just haven't taken the time to do it. So yeah, there's stuff I need to do. I mean, you're talking about all the janky characters that you got. I have a bunch of pop vinyls and Orbeez and things like that I just have in their boxes still. And I like to take them out to display, but they're still just stacked up in their boxes. So I need to put up my shelves. I need to do all this stuff that I really been wanting to do. But really, I just never taken the time, so I just need to take one day and do that. So one day and do that. So
very cool.
That's about it. That's about it. Other resolutions, continue to stay healthy. Grow that Hook Shrubs and Spices brand.
For sure.
Doing well right now. Just keep it growing. I may have another opportunity to sort of be an ambassador for another company, if it works out. So we'll see. Along with that, but yeah, man, just keep pushing forward. Keep growing, and try to get this stuff out of my hands and out of my storage, facilities and into the hands of grocery stores and somebody else, where I don't have to touch it as much. So that's it. That's it. All right. Last voicemail from our cousin. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Y'all, this is Memphis Diva 99. Y'all cousin from Memphis, and the R. Kelly special Lifetime is about to come on in like an hour. And I don't know. It's like I'm confused. I mean, what he been doing, and he been doing for a minute, and people knew it, and I'm just confused. And now they say he broke, and now they got all these women they interviewing, and his wife, ex-wife, and I feel bad because I'm like, nigga, you just could have, I don't know, turned yourself in, got some help, I don't know, but anyway. And then Nick Cannon talking about whoever he get with, she don't never have to work. You know, she independent, you know, she ain't never got to work. It sounds good, but then that's when that control stuff comes in too. I wish somebody would tell me, Kayla, you ain't never got to work, ever. I'll be like, okay, but I'll still be doing my thing, working. But oh well, I guess I will talk to y'all later.
Dang.
Sure.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Kayla.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Thoughts? Impressions?
Thoughts? R. Kelly needs some help.
Man,
That's about it.
this is true.
He needs something. The man needs some help.
Yeah.
He needs some help. He needs to face the consequences. I mean, I think it was said in I didn't watch the docu-series, but I think it was said that when he was young, he got like molested or something, or some kind of thing happened. And I think that could probably go to like another topic as far as like mental health for especially men, unresolved issues and stuff, because you know sometimes us as men we're kind of stubborn about that thing.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I just think that there's probably, if those type of issues could have been identified like a lot earlier,
Yeah.
then maybe something he probably could have got some help. But of course, you know, sometimes that type of thing is like frowned on in, you know, the community, especially like black community, getting help and mental help and things like that.
This is true. Definitely true. It's frowned upon in that community. And then not only is that part frowned upon, but medication, you know, taking medication is frowned upon.
Yeah.
And for some people, you know, that's the way that they cope. That's the way that they get through every day. And it's not a situation where you have to be on that, but people, or you know, you have to be on that forever, but people, you know, just attach a stigma. And really, you know, for a lot of people, that's just the way they make it through life. And it's funny, like I talked to somebody recently, and they were saying, you know, and this is a doctor, and we were talking about that thing specifically, and they're like, you know, if you go to your workplace, if you go to a school where there's kids, if you go to, you know, a mall, like wherever it is, a restaurant, and you look around the room, there's a high percentage chance that there's somebody or multiple people in there who are taking medication for, you know, for whatever mental illness that they have, you know, or maybe not mental illness, but, you know, whatever thing they have going on in their life. And yeah, man, R. Kelly, you know, getting back to that point, R. Kelly, definitely, he needs some help. But then also, you know, he, like we talked about, he needs to face his consequences. You know, he knows what he did. There's obviously tons of ladies that have come out, you know, that have said stuff about it. And this is one of those, it's sort of crazy because like back in the day, this may also be going back to like stuff that happens in the black community where we sort of brush off, or we, you know, brush off a comment or an accusation as not being true. And really, it's not only black community. It happens with, you know, all communities with professional athletes or musicians or entertainers, politicians, etc. So, you know, back in the day, talking about R. Kelly would do all this stuff, and he liked underage women, and now this stuff is coming to the light with more and more people finally speaking out. And it seems to be more factual than not. It's crazy, but it is what it is, man. And so he knows what he did. They know what he did. The truth will actually come out eventually. And he'll have to pay for it. Now, obviously, if he moves to Africa or wherever he moves out of the country, he's going to maybe eventually face extradition back, or maybe they'll just never catch him. Who knows? But yeah, man. Most of the time, I think it's obviously you have to trust what the victim is saying until there's something that's proved that they're not being truthful. And it just sounds like there's a lot of victims with the same story. Sounds too true to not be true.
Yeah. Did you see like the video that Master P had posted up
I didn't see
that particular situation? So I think somebody asked him about how he felt about whole R. Kelly situation, and he said I guess he's not to judge the R. Kelly. Whatever he did behind the doors is his business, his thing. But then he questioned where was the parents in all these situations, Yeah. Especially, I think there was like a parent that said that they kind of knew or something like that, or they had pictures and then they did something. But he was like, if that was me, I wouldn't be on Lifetime, having an interview. I'd have been on like CNN, or I'd have been locked up in jail for breaking in the door trying to get my kid back.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I can see that. That definitely makes sense. That's definitely true. I would also that's the question where people always ask like, where were the parents, right? And yeah, man. If you know R. Kelly's history, or his alleged history, you do not let your 15-year-old plus daughter up on the stage with him. You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
He's gonna try to freak her on the stage. You know it. It doesn't matter. And if he doesn't try to freak her, he's gonna try to do something where he'll get her back to his hotel room or something. Like, I don't know, backstage. I don't know, whatever it is. R. Kelly will try to freak her though. Like, that's what it is. That's what it all boils down to. R. Kelly trying to freak her. That's what it is. And so, man, you don't let that happen. So, and I don't know. Or you don't take your kid to that concert. You don't let your kid go to that concert. Yeah, where were the parents? But then again, sometimes you get caught up in the limelight. If you're one of those mamas who've been out here, who've been loving R. Kelly in 12 Play since you were like, since you were in your 20s or whatever, or in your teens, and now you have a old teenager or 20 something that wants to go to this concert, and y'all make a ladies' night of it, and y'all go to this concert. He happens to bring her up on the stage. You see stars in your eyes too. You're like, oh man, still bald headed, still looking good, still got that same vibrato in his voice. I want him to take me to 12 Play. You know what I'm saying? And you don't think about it. You don't think about it. And it's sad, but it's true. But nah, there's a little question of that. There's a little question of common sense. Don't put yourself in that situation. But then there's also the question of the rich and powerful getting their way in this situation and imposing their whatever, their wealth or status upon somebody to edit the situation into the way they want it to be. So it's pretty crazy, but it is what it is, man. Yeah, but that's a valid question, Master P. Valid question. Anyway, all right. Well, shoot, dog. Thank you, Memphis Diva, for all of the voicemails. Sorry, it was a backlog. Now we're caught up finally, and this is that time of the show where JQ's that careless whisper. And George Michael, been too long, George. Been too long. Anyway, and we talk about tapping that love box. So pull that love box out, bust it open,
Bust it open.
Reach on back.
Did you happen to see the love box? Was there a love box at CES?
There was not. There was not a love box. Not our love
Dang.
box, at least. So hey, man, there's space for it. You know, there is a space for the love box at CES. We just need to release it. Skeet. All right.
Skeet it up.
Skeet it up. All right. Yo, so if you're hype and excited about the announcement of Coming to America 2, seemingly finally coming out, tap your love box, because I'm excited.
Tap your love box. Ah, man. If you feel like you stepped in the name of love a little too much nowadays, tap your love box.
Oh, man. If you believe Jacquees is not the king of R&B, tap your love box.
Tap your love box. Let me see. Okay. If you are ready to pitch yourself to Mackenzie Bezos to become her new spouse and share that possible $66 billion divorce settlement, tap your love box.
Oh, she gonna get that settlement, because I think they was married. They didn't do like a prenup or anything like that. Yeah. She gonna get that money. Oh man.
Who gonna wife her up afterwards?
Man, somebody's gonna get that. And she still looks pretty cute for her age. So
yeah,
somebody gonna get her.
Yeah. She gonna give me that wall TV that you was talking about from CES. Just gonna sit in the house all day.
Man, that's all you got to do. You got that much money. What else is there to do?
Nothing.
You could have like a maid or a butler do everything for you. Like, you don't even have to talk. You just have people talk for you. You don't even get like
trash one. You could trash one house and just say, screw it, I'm buying a new one.
Just like
that's how much you got.
Just like burn one house down and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't really care about that one. It didn't have the right je ne sais quoi for me. Wow.
Not a good feng shui going on.
Dope. So if you think it's dope that Travis Scott donates $100,000 to a non-profit after-school program in Houston, tap your love box, because that is cool.
That's pretty dope.
That is cool.
Man.
My brother worked for one of them for a while. And yeah, man, you know, they make money from donations and you know, like car washes and stuff like that, and state funding, and it's not easy to keep them afloat. So yeah, man, that's dope that Travis did that.
That's cool. Very cool. If you're like me and spend most of your time at work watching YouTube videos about food, tap your love box.
Yes.
For some reason, I just like watching people barbecue. Don't know why.
You know, if you want some good barbecue food, if you want to add some good flavor to your barbecue, first of all, tap your love box. Second of all, hit up Hooks, Rubs, and Spices on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Hooks and Spice Rubs, Etsy.com. Their Etsy page link is actually on all their profiles. So Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. And hey,
that's true.
If you want to get a Hooks, Rubs, and Spices recipe, at least the first one of many that should be coming out, go to landmanusa.com. Landman Smokers, go to recipes. Hooks, Rubs, and Spices has a featured rib recipe on there, and they're quicker smoked ribs than you would normally do, or quicker barbecued ribs than you would normally have. It's no 3-2-1 method, no like 6 to 8 hour ribs. Nah, G, we getting you ribs in 2 hours. So check that link. You know, check out Landman Smokers. Hooks, Rubs, and Spices is I guess I can go ahead and announce it, is a product ambassador for them. So yeah, man, it's good stuff. So yeah, man, Jay, check out that, and maybe you'll see some Hooks, Rubs, and Spices unboxing videos of some new product, as well as also how to cue videos as well. So
Very cool.
But I'm right there with you watching that. But if you spend a little bit too much time at work watching video game replays and how-tos, tap your little box, because that's what mode I'm in sometimes.
Yeah, totally understand that. I'm in that spectrum as well. If you are a Dallas Cowboys fan and paid a little bit too much money traveling to LA because you thought your team was gonna advance in the playoffs, but you came back disappointed and crying,
Man.
tap your love box.
Man.
I'm not. Jared's not.
I'm telling you, man. I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan, and I'm glad finally somebody put them out their misery. Thank you, LA Rams. I'm interested. I'm hoping to see a Rams versus Saints NFC Championship. So we'll see. I guess by the time this show launches, we'll actually be seeing that week. Yeah, man. I'm saying go Saints just because shoot, that's your people. And my dad loved that team. It's like one of his secondary teams or actually his first team when he was a kid. So, and Drew Brees. It's Drew Brees.
Breezy.
Keep it breezy.
Yeah.
So if you think it's dope that GoFundMe is refunding every donation made to the Fund the Wall campaign, tap your love box. GoFundMe is the bombs.
So silly.
I think they should use that money and they should use it for something else, but I guess since they took it for that specific campaign, it's fine. Give it back to the fools.
Man, if you are the type of person that dreads going back to work on a Sunday or whatever day before you got to go back to work, tap your love box, because I do not want to go back to work tomorrow. So much stuff I need to do at home.
Feeling it. Wow. Let's see here. Hey, if you're excited because your anniversary is less than 24 hours away, but
oh snap!
But also sort of frustrated because you haven't had a moment to actually go and pick up a present, tap your love box, because that's me. Wedding anniversary.
All you gotta do. Tell you right now, all you gotta do.
What's that?
It's just great. Just get a big bow and tie it around yourself and say, "You got me."
Just show up naked? Damn. Is that what it is?
Well, I ain't say that, but you can.
Okay. No, I'm the present. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, you're the present.
Okay, I got you.
I mean, you don't have to get butt naked. That's your call.
I thought it was like the Justin Timberlake Dick in the Box segment. So my bad.
You could do that too. You could just whip it out, tie a bow around that too.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah, man, that sounds good. Yeah, think about that. No, but shout out to my wife, Mrs. Jared. Happy anniversary, honey. That will be 13 years.
13 years. Cool. Very cool.
Wow. Yeah.
That's dope.
Getting on up there. So
that is dope.
Yeah, and really to her grandparents who just celebrated on New Year's Day 73 years. 73 years. Yeah, that's wild. That is wild.
My parents are at 40 something.
45, 46.
Yeah. My parents are at 48 or 49, I think.
That's right. Dang.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah. Well, and it'll be 11 this year. 12 this year. Dang. Yeah. 12. Wow.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, man, that is dope. You know what? So, tap your little box if, first of all, you think it's funny that Soulja Boy now calls himself Soulja Man because he thinks he's a businessman. So that's the first thing. And then also tap your little box because when I was at CES, I tried to look for the new Soulja Boy gaming system. It's not there.
Oh, what?
I didn't see it. You know what I mean?
So
last year, that's where Ray J launched his Raycon, thing. I was so and it's actually going really well. He's actually launched some new earbud headsets and stuff like that seem to be doing well in the market.
Some eyeglasses.
Yeah, some eyeglasses. So I was looking to see if we'd have that new Soulja Boy gaming system, the Soulja system or whatever they call it, and it wasn't there. At least it wasn't where I was. I don't know where it was. So yeah, Soulja Boy.
It's probably in that far corner booth, like right the corner stall of the bathroom.
I'm gonna tell you what's so funny is like you say something like that, but like you could tell where there's like huge big name companies that put a lot of money into their booth, that have a lot of money and that are successful companies, and there are also companies that are like these little like knockoff Chinese vendors that make that they'll buy the technology for a product, or they'll buy a product for like 20 cents per product per item, and then just like brand it with their name or something like that, and then resell it for for like $10, $5, $20, whatever it is. Or they try to get you to buy that type of stuff, for super cheap and rebrand it, resell it yourself. So yeah, so where our booth was, we're in the same hall, the South Hall. That had a lot of portable power and stuff like that. We're on the second floor, so we're over the drones and all that other gaming stuff and robots. They were on the first floor of that same hall. But behind us, we're like about midway through the hall. But if you go further back through the hall, there's tons of little tiny companies like that have gaming systems, that have robots, that have phone chargers, that have speakers, they have all kinds of stuff. And these are the things that come from made in China and may last for like 10 seconds, may last for a couple months, may last for a few years, may last for a day. I don't know. So yeah, it's really funny that you would say that. But yeah, that's probably where the Soulja system was, and it wasn't listed. It wasn't listed on the CES app under the exhibitors, so I definitely did not see it. So sorry, Soulja. Sorry, ain't nobody trying to pay no couple $100 for retread games, that don't work anyways. Whatever. Tap your love box if you think it's funny that R. Kelly was evicted from a Chicago music studio that was featured on Surviving R. Kelly.
R. Kelly. All right. Well,
that's all I got, man.
I'm all loved boxed out.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, tell them where they can find us, man.
All right. Well, everybody, this up Twitter, Instagram, # Blackout Pod, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spreaker, and YouTube. If you want to listen there, email us topics, # blackoutpod@gmail.com. Hit us up on the voicemail, 353-BLAKPC is 35325-2572. Hit up Etsy, grab yourself some Hooks Rubs, and hit up all the Hooks Rubs social media platforms. Check them out. Check all the food out. All the nice smoking stuff. Hit up bossboxes.shop. Get yourself a Boss Box. 10% off when you put Blackout 10 in the checkout. And that's it.
Yes, indeed.
2019.
So Anchor.com. If you have the Anchor podcast app, or if you have access to Anchor.com, from your desktop, check it out. We have one episode up there right now. We're gonna try to upload a few more episodes. We're just trying to see if that's a viable platform for us to go to in the future. So if you have thoughts on that, let us know. If you've listened to an episode on there, let us know. We're just trying to work out some things and see how that works for the future, the near future, hopefully. So yeah, man. So I don't know I know we have like episode 108 up there, the distracted baby one. We're talking about Bad Baby, and I'm gonna try to put up our latest episode 113 up there as well, and then this 114 that we're on right now. So yeah, check it out. Let us know what you think. And that's it. I'm blacking out.
Me too.